Hello and welcome back to another video. This is West Ham United 5, SC Freiburg nil match reaction. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. And yeah, job fucking done indeed. 5-0. I was not expecting that. Not at all. Blew my expectations away. And what a way to do it. When you let the handbrake go, this is what happens with this team. Granted, it was against a very poor opposition. Don't get me wrong, but credit has to go to the way the manager set up for once. And the credit has to go to, for once, some of these players. Even Aaron Cresswell wasn't that bad. The only one that looked kind of meaty was Zuma today, because he can't pass a ball, but I don't know what's happened. He's aged about 20 years in the past 2 weeks. But when you see Kudus, Paquetá, Bowen, Antonio, you're like, okay, he's going for it. Ward-Prowse dropped. Harsh, because he was not been played in his position, but you got to risk one of Souček or Ward-Prowse out of here, and he's not going to risk he's not going to rat out Souček. I'm watching the darts. Sorry, if I'm looking that way, it's because I'm watching the darts. The darts Premier League. Currently Wright versus Humphreys. But when you see that lineup, you get a bit more encouragement. I said the Carabao Cup game against Arsenal, where it was Alvarez and Souček, and we had 4 attackers. We played well, and that's how it looked when Bowen. That was one of the times where it looked good when Bowen was playing up front. Bowen was on the right, and I really enjoyed watching him play today. Antonio was the outlet that we didn't realise that we needed. Well, some of this fan base didn't realise that we needed. I did, because I like Antonio. It's not the same Antonio, don't get me wrong, but everyone has a fall-off. And I remember when we had Antonio, people were like, we need a striker, we need a striker, we need a striker. We still need a striker, don't get me wrong. But for this system, Antonio is the system. Because their whole striker running down the channels, drifting out wide to bring other people in, that's what Antonio does. And we could go more direct and pass on the ground today. So the long balls were working because we've got someone who can control the ball, hold people off. They don't want to come up against Antonio because they've never faced someone like Antonio. And that's what happened. And that brought a great dynamic. Paquetá was back in the middle. To be fair, he wasn't that good, Paquetá, to be fair. He wasn't actually that good, but you could see he was more comfortable. And I preferred that. As much as Kudus on the left isn't his best position, he was amazing. He was probably the second best, I'd say, out of the 4. I'd say Antonio was the best. But by the way, that goal, the first goal that he scored, we pretty much just spawned Lionel Messi straight out of Ghana. And just wow. Just wow. What a goal. When he was running, I was like, you know what? Just keep going. Just keep going. Why not? Just keep going. And he did. And the greatest thing about him, he's the kind of person to carry on and keep running. Other players don't do that. So that's what the goal I was happiest with the most. Even Aaron Cresswell's goal today, he had a lot of space, don't get me wrong, but that finish was great. Like, it was right in the corner. And it was just all the goals. That keeper's shite. We faced him in the group stage. They have young keepers. That keeper was shite. We needed to face him and pepper him with shots, was something we didn't do in the first leg. Even though you're playing away from home, it doesn't hurt to attack. We didn't even finish our chances. And today, we finished our chances. In that first leg, we did not finish our chances. Today was great today. It was great. We're not going to play like that against Villa because we all know what's going to happen. We're going to go back to type. We attacked because we had to. But at the same time, it was very enjoyable to watch. It was very enjoyable to watch. And it was just an enjoyable night. Credit to everyone that came to the game today. Because obviously the kickoff time is not easy for everyone. Some people probably took for one of their work days off just to get to this game, even though they would have ended their normal work day probably an hour later. But because they needed to get to the game and because it's hard and they probably don't live in Stratford, some of these lot live deep in Essex, etc., like, credit to them. Like, it was still, like, don't get me wrong, it wasn't sold out, but it was never going to be sold out at that kickoff time, was it? It was still a great atmosphere. Proper European night for West Ham again. We're going to struggle in the next rounds because we're probably not going to face the same caliber of opponent, because the calibers of opponent I'm currently seeing in Roma game, like, Roma are going to go through. Sporting, I'm pretty sure, are going to go through. Leverkusen, I haven't checked the Leverkusen score out. I'm assuming they're going to go through. Liverpool are obviously going to go through. They're going to take that competition seriously. It's the second leg. They've already won, and they still played Mohamed Salah, even though they've got Man United on the weekend, because they're going to rest their players for the FA Cup. They're taking that competition serious. So there's no mercy on us. Obviously, we're not going to get we're not going to get if we're going to try to get to the latter stages and we're going to try and win, as these players have been saying, like Ariel and Bowen have said that we want to win it, which is a good mentality. It's the mentality I want to hear. Then we're going to have to, you know, play out of our skin. But what I will say, I want to say Vladimir Sufel, fantastic today. Suchek was good today, but Vladimir Sufel was fantastic. The passing, he didn't rush his passing. He took his time. He was composed, and he was more clever, and just was more intricate, more methodic with his passing today. And yeah, I've got to give him credit where it's due. I'm going to end the video there because I need to get the video out, get it rendered. Then I need to edit a little mini vlog for the TikTok. So if you follow me on TikTok, you will see a mini vlog of the game. Then I need to make the thumbnail for this as well. So yeah, I've got a lot to do, and I want to watch the dots. So yeah, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new. Social medias are in the description if you want to follow me, the email for the inquiries. Get me to 500 subscribers before the end of the year ends. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.